today's video, you will be watching how to use the TI-84 to perform the chi-square test for independence or just the chi-square test. I've taken this question to find the correlation between gender and the t-shirt color preferences. If you look at my previous video, it is the same question which you solved. I have shared the link to my previous video here where you can just go and see how you can find the chi-square value using the formula. Or in case if you're doing some research or from mathematical calculations without the use of calculators. So this video can be of help to you. Now let's see how to find the chi-square using a TI-84. At first, I would like you to note the steps down so that you can refer to them later. So the step 1 is that you should type your data in a matrix form in the GDC. So where can you enter the data in a matrix form? If you carefully look into this keypad, you can see here it's written matrix. So you press second and the x inverse or x to the power minus 1 key to get the matrix. Can you see it here? Okay. And then you take the edit option, you enter the row by column value, enter the data according to your question, and the second part is where you go to stat test. So stat is here. Can you see the stat, S-T-A-T? So you have stat and then you go to chi-square test. So that's it. You can take note of the steps and let me show you in detail. Now this is the data given in the question. You have the observed frequency given to you for the gender male and female with the different color preferences that they have. And you can see there are rows. There are 2 rows and 4 columns. As mentioned earlier, I'm going to start with pressing second and x to the power minus 1, which gives me the matrix. So this is the window that's going to open up, and here you can see these are all the different metrics in which you can enter your data. So to enter, I have to select the edit part because this is where I have to edit and enter my number. You can use these keys here to take you up, down or left. So to come to this edit option, I will use this key to navigate, and once I reach edit, I will just press enter and it takes me to the next window where you can see matrix A, which is given as 1 by 1 by default. Now what we need is a 2 by 4 matrix for the 2 rows and the 4 columns. So I will be changing this 1 to 2 and this 1 to 4. So remember, it should be row by column, the number of rows here and then the number of columns here. You can just use these keys to navigate, reach each position, bring the cursor there and use the number pad to change the numbers. Now I have my matrix A ready with the order of 2 by 4. Where you can see the 2 rows and the 4 columns exactly how it's mentioned in my question. Now bring the cursor down to each cell and start entering the values like this. In few minutes I'll be showing this exactly in a GDC so that you are confident in doing all these steps. So the first part is done. You take the numbers from the question and you just put it into the matrix. The data input is done. The next step is pressing stat. This is the stat key which you need to press, and it takes you to another window which looks like this. You have an edit, calculate and test options here. Now once you have this window, you know it is a chi-square test that you're going to do. So you have to come to the option test and you can see a window with so many tests being mentioned, z-test, t-test and so many, but you don't see the chi-square immediately. You have to scroll down and you reach chi-square test here. Make sure you don't take chi-square goodness of it test. You're not doing this now. So select chi-square test. Now when you have selected the chi-square test, the next window that comes when you press enter is a window that says the observed frequency with the matrix A and the expected in a matrix B. Now you don't have to worry about the expected frequency because it will be automatically calculated by the device and you have no role there. Just keep pressing enter and this is where you have the final answer generated. You have the chi-square value, which is 33.761, the p-value, and the DF is the degree of freedom, which is 3. Now let's see all this being done on a TI-84. Now finally reaching the conclusion part, you must know the conditions to accept the null hypothesis. We have two conditions, where the first one is the chi-square value less than the critical value, then you accept the null hypothesis, or you compare the p-value with the significance level, and if the p-value is greater than the significance level, then you accept the null hypothesis.